You must be having light problems on your refrigerator. These lights on the top here, they do not work, but the lights on the side do. And we're going to cover that in this video here today, on why those are working on top and those are not on the bottom. And we're actually going to fix this thing as well. These lights on the side here, they are wired on a separate circuit than the ones that are on the top. I'm going to show you guys a small little schematic that I made. But also down here in the freezer, there's one single light right there. Can't really see it very well. Now, the reason why those side lights are working and the other lights are not is because they are on two different circuits. The circuit you see on the bottom here, because this is a little light schematic that I made here for you, so you guys can actually see how this thing is wired a little bit. But yeah, those four lights that you see on the bottom, that bottom schematic, those are the lights that are on the left hand side and the right hand side. Those four lights, two on the left, two on the right, all those are working. And then you see the schematic on top where it has the three lights that are next to the water filter, the two lights that are under the ice maker, and the freezer light. They're all on the same circuit. And you want to think of these as Christmas lights. So, you know, if one Christmas light goes out, there's pretty much no lights on it whatsoever. So, if one light goes out, all of them are out because it's in a series circuit. So, one light goes out, cuts the circuit, and none of them will light up. Because you need to have power coming in, you need to have power coming out. If one of those lights are out, you're not going to get any lights on that circuit whatsoever. So, it can be any one of these lights that have gone out. What I have found when I see these is the freezer light is the one that most likely goes out. I think I've done 3 or 4 of them, and every time it's been the freezer light. So that's most likely what you guys have going on is your freezer light is out. But if it's not the freezer, it can be any other one of those that are on the circuit. 2 different parts. There's one part that comes with 3. That's the one that's next to the water filter. There's a separate part number for that. But every other light that you see is going to be the same part number. So 2 different part numbers. Most likely it's going to be the one in the freezer. You don't really know until you start swapping the lights out. I would start with the freezer, but in this one, which you guys will see, the freezer light was actually a real pain to get out. It's a lot easier to get the other ones out if you guys want to try those first. But I find out that it's the freezer more than any other. So I would try that first if I were you. But if it's a pain like this one, I'll understand if you guys try the other ones first. And it'll give you an idea on how these lights actually come out the way that they're supposed to. But that's what we're going to get into here in a second. We're going to be trying to swap out this freezer light and make sure that this thing works afterwards. So, alright, let's do it. Now, to make room, we got to get that drawer out. And before we get that drawer out, we got to get these little keepers in. And what I usually do is I take a screwdriver and I just pry it out. It's going to sound like you're breaking it, but if you pry hard enough, those things will come right out for you. You get that out the right hand side, the left hand side, and then you can get that drawer out. It's a lot easier to get the drawer out if the doors or the fresh food doors are open. So we're going to get this drawer out and then we'll be able to access that light a little better. As you'll see here soon, whenever I start to take out this light, it is giving me trouble. And the reason it's giving me trouble is whenever they put insulation in this thing during manufacturing, the insulation got into the light itself. I'm going to fast forward it here, and the battery on my camera was really low, so you guys won't see it all, but you will see me struggle to get this thing out. I'm going to fast forward it here, and you'll see this thing barely come out. And then the next time we come back with the camera, you'll most likely see the light actually out, and then you'll see all that insulation and everything. But if you guys are having trouble, getting this light out, you can take out one of the other ones to see exactly how it's supposed to come out. But there's tabs on the inside of it that's preventing it from coming out, and you just got to push them in and then she'll fall out. But here's that insulation I was telling you about. Tons of it on the inside, and it probably took me 30-40 minutes to maybe get that thing out. I had to get the freezer drawer out and pretty much get underneath it and work at it, because the way I was doing it, which is normally how I usually do it, it just wasn't easy. But the connection to get that light out, I had to dig it out as well, and there's a little tab that you want to push in to get that connection out. And again, go back to one of those other lights up top to actually see how to get it off, if you guys have a bunch of insulation on it just like this one. But took me a while to get it out. I got it out, getting a new one in, and then you'll see that the lights will be working here in a second. There we go. We got our freezer light back on, and we'll get back up to the top and make sure everything else is good to go. But first we're going to push this light back into its hole. And we damaged it just a little bit, just because it was such a pain to get it out. But shouldn't hurt anything. There's enough insulation in there to prevent any ice buildup or anything, so we should be good there. But that's pretty much it. Most of the time it's going to be your freezer light that goes out, which causes those other lights to go out. If they're in series, you just got to find the right one. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be your freezer light. But yep, we can see that the lights up top now work. Those are those 3 next to the water filter, and then the 2 under the ice maker, as you saw in the schematic. And then the left hand side, the right hand side, everything's on, everything's working. So I hope this video has helped you guys, and if it has, leave me a like, subscribe, comment if you have a question or something, and I truly appreciate y'all watching.